As soon as this starts, we're going to start talking about social media. All right. So put in the chat, what is your preferred social media platform? What do you normally go on social media? Like, where do you find most of your social media stuff? Are you on Facebook, Instagram? Anybody who's on TikTok out there? Are you into YouTube? Where do you get your information? Looks like we have a split of Facebook and Instagram. Some people do both. Um, and that's good to know because you probably are going to want to focus with your social media efforts of everything we're talking about. You're probably going to want to focus on the place where you're most comfortable, right? You're familiar with it. For example, I've been thinking about diving into TikTok a little bit, but I don't use TikTok. So it's really intimidating for me to get in there and start doing TikTok videos when I'm not comfortable, even as a watcher, a participant, right? Much less going in there and trying to make videos in TikTok when I don't even know what the vibe of TikTok is, right? So stay in the lane where you feel most comfortable and don't try to go crazy with too many new things all at once. And apply what we're teaching you today to that one place because it's very easy to get overwhelmed with all the information that we're going to share today and give up, right? It's kind of like the feeling of being overwhelmed or deflated because there's just you're going to feel like there's a lot of information that we're sharing with you today. Originally, the topic of this class was going to be the ATM system. We really wanted to hone in on what the ATM system is, and that's where your notes are. But then as I was reflecting, preparing for this class, I thought, well, the ATM system is like down here. We have all this information before the ATM system that we should really cover. Now, some of this is going to be a review, some of it's going to be brand new, and some of it's just going to be good for you to hear again. But we're going to go through it. And it's again something we will continue to come back to over and over again. But I think we needed to start at the beginning because I wanted this to be a comprehensive class on using social media in your Mary Kay business. And I wanted it to go from soup to nuts. All right. So we're going to cover soup to nuts as quickly as we can. And we'll definitely have to do more in the Ask the Director session. What I thought I would do more in the Ask the Director session would be the actual how-tos. I'm not going to teach you today how to make a reel, how to do a story. I'm not going to hold up my phone and like show you all the gizmos and gadgets, okay? We're going to talk just more in application of like what you should be doing, not how you should do it. But on Wednesday, I will do that in the session. I will show you how to do those things, how to make a reel, how to make a story, and we'll record it. So if you can't come, then, you can just watch the recording. Okay. So I have a little presentation to keep me on target with what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to do some activities throughout this day today. And we are definitely going to look at ChatGPT a lot. So hopefully you have ChatGPT ready to go on your phone. And we are going to use it a lot. Okay. So if you don't have it, just download it right now because you're going to need to be using it. And if you don't know what it looks like, let me just show you my app really quick. It is this little white square with almost like a circle, okay, like a rose. That's the one you want. It's free. You do not have to pay for this app. All right. So let's see if this works. Can you see my screen? All right. So we are going to talk about why. First, we need to know why, because honestly, I have a lot of Mary Kay friends that ask me, does it really work, Bridget? I see you doing stuff on social media. Do you get orders from that? Are you getting team members from that? Like they want to see the result of it. Basically, what this social media is going to be teaching you, it's not a one-to-one correlation. Like you do a video, you get $100 in sales, right? It's different than the traditional Mary Kay model where we would like do a face and we make money. We do a party and we make more money. This is more like your marketing and your advertising and your lead generating and your relationship building. Okay. Yes, there will be sales that will come from it. Yes, there will be team members that come from it, but it's really just a different, not an immediate result kind of activity that you need to do. And in the world of where we are right now, with everyone using social media, it's essential. It's really not, I don't think it's really an option as much anymore for success. So that's what we're going to teach you about. And I mean, here's an analogy. Think about a car company. There's some feedback there. So if you are looking to buy a car and you see a commercial for a Jeep and you see that one commercial, does it mean you're going to call up the Jeep dealership at that moment and say, okay, I saw that commercial. I need to buy that Jeep today, right? No, they're planting seeds. When you're in the market for a car, consider buying a Jeep, right? That's what your social media presence is. It's really just planting seeds so that people can feel connected to you and want to do business with you. So let's take a guess. We're going to do a little quiz here on social media because we need to be really clear on why we're doing this. So, how many people in the world use social media? Can you tell me your guess for that? Let's see if I can pull up the chat. Is it 3 billion, 5 billion, 6.5 billion? Tell me the guess in the chat. You don't have to unmute. We'll just move through these questions pretty quick. Just put in the chat. What do you think it is? A, B, or C?
Not.
All right. How about this one? The average user spends this many hours a day on social media. So is it 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 30 minutes a day? What do you think the answer is for that one? And then how about question number 3? What percentage of shoppers say they found a new product on social media? Meaning they purchased a product because they saw it on social media. Is it 40%, 70%, or
I'm
80%?
gonna shrink this,
Yeah.
So
or
let's see what you guys thought. Put it in the chat. Let's see. I think I can see the chat here. Okay, good. All right, I'm seeing some guesses coming out. Let's go to the answers. So 5 billion people are using social media. 5 billion people. That's a heck of a lot of people, right? People are spending about 2.5 hours. Now that's an average. So you know there's some people that are doing it a lot more. And the percentage is 70% of people are buying something because they saw it on social media. That's a lot of people. And that's probably so much more than it was just like 3 years ago. I know for me, I was a little bit of a late adopter. I really never ever bought anything that I saw on social media. And now I'm slowly, once in a while, buying something from social media. So even me, who's was like pretty resistant to doing that, because I like to shop. I like to feel stuff and touch things, and I like to, have the experience of shopping. I'm even coming around, so more and more people are shopping and feeling comfortable shopping on social media because of what they're seeing on social media. All right. So here's some reasons, some compelling reasons. And I'm sure you already know this, but it's good to think about it because sometimes we need to know the why behind what we're doing, right? Because I know some of us are resistant. Tell me in the chat, do you feel resistant to using social media or have you embraced it? Are you in the middle somewhere? Are you like, no, I don't want to do it. It's not my thing. I don't want to be, this, or this. You have some thoughts, some beliefs about it that make you resistant to it. Or are you like, I love it. I'm all in. Tell me where you are on that scale. But let's talk about this while you're putting that in the chat. Do a little self-reflection. Um, let's see here. Yeah, I don't know why my chat is weird. Okay. Well, your audience is already there. All right. Lots of women are on social media, so people are there. They're waiting to hear from you. It allows you to build relationships with your current people, your friends, your family, your Facebook friends, your followers, but it also allows you to build new relationships, find new people. It's the ultimate lead generating spot, right? You can totally find lots of new people because there's 5 billion people on the platform. It's also a great place to show your personality and your voice. People will get to know you better because you can be there, right? You can be live, you can have video, you can have your message going out there and people get to know you better. It's free. It's absolutely free to do this, right? You do not have to pay for a vendor event. Do not have to pay to make flyers or, ads. It's free for you to do this. And I personally don't think we need to be doing ads because there's so much that we can do that's totally free. It gives you a bigger reach. Right now, you might be able to reach out to people at church or at the tennis club or in your workplace. But with social media, you can reach out to so many people. And that just increases the percentage of, potential clients. And it also works while you sleep. So you could put a reel out there, or you could have something on your stories. And a woman who is having trouble falling asleep at night, she'll be up watching your video at 2 in the morning, right? So we can't be texting people at 2 in the morning, but your social media can be reaching to people at the middle of the night. All right. So one thing I really want to make sure we understand is that people are watching you. No matter what you do, right? Your positive messages, maybe you're not so positive, negative, the negative messages, or the times when you get zero comments or no one's liking your videos or your posts or your stories, and you feel like nobody's seeing it. They are seeing it. I just had an appointment with a woman this past weekend who I actually met at a vendor event, and she bought a couple products from me. We became Facebook friends. So, yay, that was smart that I connected with her immediately on Facebook. So, if you're not already doing that, make sure that's part of what you do when you meet people, when you are warm chatting people, when you are connecting with people in any place. It should just flow out of your mouth. Are you on Facebook? Let me send you a friend request, or here's my Facebook link. Follow me, or whatever you do. You need to do that because then they can start watching you. And then you can really start building that relationship. But anyway, she ended up, I sent out a message, kind of like you guys were in a challenge to share with lots of people. I sent out a message to all my customers. This is several months ago, saying like, the starter kit's only $20 or it's only $20 to join. I don't know if this is something you'd ever consider, but you can get a great 50% discount and lots more. If you want to hear more details, just, say yes and I'll send you a little bit more. I sent that out to hundreds of people. Hundreds. Like all my customers got that message. And she was one that said yes because she had been watching me and I didn't even know it. I just met her randomly and sold her like a cleanser at a vendor event. I never even did a facial with her before, but she was new to the area. She had lost her consultant. We had had that conversation and she was like, "Oh, I'm glad I found you. I need a cleanser." And that was the beginning of that was all we had had. But anyway, when we met the other day, because she ended up joining my team and then she wanted to look at products and learn more to be able to place her order, she was like, "I love your videos. I love how you teach me all these great things. And I want to take better care of my skin. And I'm going through a divorce and, I have really forgotten to take care of myself, but I'm recommitting to that." And I'm like, I had no idea. I had no idea that she was watching. She never comments. She never does anything. She never messaged me, but they are watching you. Okay. So sometimes we can get deflated because we feel like it's not working, like nobody's really watching us, but they are. All right. So, one of the things we need to be thinking about is what do we want our message to be? Okay. Because if people are watching, we better be careful with what we're saying and what we're putting out there into the world. And so, today, the first thing we're going to start with is finding your niche. Now, if you know what your niche is, great, put it in the chat. I would love to know what your niche is. And, if you've done some work thinking about that, or maybe you have, maybe had some coaching, or maybe you've watched some videos about that and you kind of feel like, yeah, I know who my niche is. Or maybe you're in the middle and you're like, I'm still developing that. And I'm like figuring out who my niche is or what my niche is. And some of you are like, what is a niche? I don't even know what that word means. And some people call it a niche, and some people call it a niche. So there's different ways you can even say the word. But anyway, basically, what that is it's finding that little segment of the population that is your ideal client. It's the woman who is going to most connect and resonate with what you're talking about, and she is the one who you're probably going to have the most success with. She's going to be your best customer. She's going to be the one who loves what you're giving out. She's going to be the person who probably wants to join your team. She is your ideal customer because she is in your niche. And when you are clear about who you're serving, right, it gives you the power to be sharing your message more confidently. Okay. So we want to understand that. Also, you're going to hear the word brand a lot. That you are your brand, and Mary Kay is really not your brand. You are your brand. So we're going to talk about like what that means and how you can find your niche. So let me see if I can see some of the comments. Someone said soul care for mamas, stay at home mamas, brides, but also in your age group of over 50, but also the younger brides. And so we're still figuring out niches for a lot of you. So here's how you figure this out. Okay. First, you have to say, and I would love for you to take some notes on this part. Okay. Anywhere on that page that's about this class or on the back of the page, there's no specific blanks for this. But I would love for you to take some notes and write down, who are you? All right. Think about your station in life right now, the season that you're in. Who are you? And then think of some words that describe your vibe, your personality. And then also, what are you known for? Okay. They all kind of go together. But just jot some things down. It does not have to be a perfect mission statement at this point, right? We're just taking a brain dump of what are the things that people would maybe compliment you on, like you are so blank, or I love how you do this. What are the things that are you, that define you? So it could be, a very specific thing like I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm over 50, or I am a millennial. And then it could also be I'm faith-filled. I am a Jesus lover. I am a 80s rock girl. I am a no makeup, no frills, simple dash out the door girl. I am a funny person. I have a funny sense of humor. Or I am a crafty person. I love DIYs. Okay. Any of those things. So, like the season of life you're in, literally like your age and your occupation. And then also what makes you unique and special and what you do. Okay. So that's the first part. Okay. Then we're moving on to the next part. This is where you're going to jot some things down again. And again, you can come back to this with more reflection, but we're just doing a brain dump right now. I know some of you have probably already thought about this. Um, so I love seeing someone has a cool Gigi vibe. Yes, Angie, I love your cool Gigi vibe. She's a grandmom of multiple grandchildren, um, helping others find their path in retired life, retired but active. And Angie's known for her great eyebrows. Yes, she is. Like, it's good to have a small niche. I remember when I was first doing this myself, I was like, how am I going to niche down? They tell you to niche down, niche down, niche down, meaning like you can't just be beauty for women over 50. That's too broad. You actually have to get it even more specific. Some of you, okay, so step two is like, what are you passionate about? When it comes to your Mary Kay business, what do you want to help your client with? And that's really like what you have to give, what you are going to serve women with. And some of this is all linked together. So, like step three kind of goes with step two in that it's a challenge that you faced and you have overcome it or you're in the process of overcoming it. So, let's say you have been through a divorce and you lost yourself in that process and your self-esteem was really low and now you're building that back up again. Well, that's probably something that you want to help other women with because you are surviving divorce and thriving on the other side. So you want to help other women with that too. So that's an example of niching down. You're not just helping women that are over 50, you're helping women with divorce and they're over 50. So the more specific your message can be, the closer like the relationship is going to be with your clients, your potential prospects. Okay. So step four, it goes into this idea of what makes you different than other consultants. You know, you don't have to be the same. In fact, you don't want to be generic. If you are too generic in your messaging in your social media platforms, people will just keep scrolling. It's not going to like hit a nerve. It's not going to sink in because it's not specific enough. You don't want to just be this generic Mary Kay girl who is like, I love this product. It makes me feel pretty, right? Your message needs to be more targeted. So that's a big deal here, but you can do it. Okay, you can figure out what your niche is because when you figure that out, you are really going to just everything's going to fall into place and you're going to know what your messaging should be. Um, and so the other part of step four is just figuring out what other areas of your life do you want to blend into your message. So figuring out, again, what makes you unique and how can you bring that into your business. So I always have trouble finding how to get to the next page. Okay. So this is called the three pillars of your brand. So this is some of the things that make up you as your social media presence, your brand. Okay. Your brand is actually not Mary Kay. Your brand is you. You are the brand. And I was very confused by that when I first heard this concept. I didn't understand. I thought my brand was Mary Kay, right? But really, what should be coming forward is you sharing your message and you're using Mary Kay as a vehicle to feel that confidence, to look beautiful after retirement, to embrace aging with grace, to embrace self care in a busy season with toddlers, to have glowing skin as a bride to be, right? Or a mother of the bride or whatever, right? So that's the brand. That's the brand, not the Mary Kay. It's you. But your brand can have multiple pillars. Now, of course, your main pillar is beauty because we are in the beauty industry as opposed to someone else, other people you follow, right? What other industries are you seeing on social media? You can put that in the chat. What is some big ones that you follow personally now on social media? You know their brand, right? For me, it's weight loss, exercise. I see a lot of that. I also see a lot of people that are coaching for social media, social media coaches. That's where I've learned all this stuff is from people that are experts in teaching this. I've taken their classes and watched them. So we see other people with their brand and we know what their brand is. So your brand is the beauty business. Okay. It's skincare. It's, it can be specific too. Like you can focus on like glass skin and hydrated skincare. You could focus more on simple skincare for busy moms. You could focus on more glamour with like more advanced glamour if that's your thing. If you love advanced glamour and you're all about the smoky eye, you could be that could be part of your brand. Or you could be simple makeup, like 5-minute makeup, or it could be like a natural makeup or makeup for mature skin. Okay, so do you see how we're creating a more specific niche in beauty? Not just saying, I'm a beauty ambassador, but I help women that are over 50 with a hydrated skincare routine. That's how you niche your beauty uh, pillar. Then the other parts are like what you bring into it. And this is what makes it you, your personality. And these are some of the things that you already talked about. Um, Being a grandmom or a mom, your faith, your sense of humor, maybe fashion, travel, hiking, other hobbies like cooking, because sometimes women want to know more than just what products you recommend. They want to connect with you as someone who likes to travel. And so bringing some things about your other sides of your personality into your social media is a good thing. You've probably seen this before with other people, especially like in your stories. Um, you can share other parts of your life. So think about what would be another pillar for you. You can put that in the chat. Like, what are the other things that you do? For a lot of us, it's our family. We want to show our family in our social media because then people are like, oh, I love that. She's a mom just like me. Or, oh, that's cool. She's got a little grandbaby and I just had a grandbaby too. Right? It makes us feel like a connection, like she gets it. She's just like me. And if we only do beauty, 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 and they never see this other side of us, it's like not making us as much of a human being that they want to feel like they can trust and they can do business with. You want them to like you. And if you have similar hobbies like gardening, right? Then they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I love to garden too. That's Susie. She is just like me. I want to buy skincare from her because we both love to do gardening. And it also gives you a place to have a conversation. Like sometimes people will engage with you about the flowers that you planted more quickly than they'll ask you about that eye cream. So it gives you a place to start having a conversation, and then the skincare or the makeup can come after. So it's very important to be sharing all those different areas of your life. So yes, so you could blend your wedding business with videos with Mary Kay on your Mary Kay site. Definitely. Definitely. You want to be blending all of those things together for sure, because you're going to attract brides to you. And then how about the purpose, right? We need to know what our purpose is. Now, this is kind of getting into that deep head stuff, that mission of like, what's your mission? I want to empower women. I want to help women put themselves on the list when they're a busy mom uh, of toddlers, or I want to build confidence after going through a divorce, or I want to help retired women believe that they are still valuable and they shouldn't just give up after 60 and say, it's too late for me. You need to have a message, a purpose of why you're doing this. Okay. And this is like the deeper stuff, but that's important too. So these are the three pillars, and you get to pick what your three pillars are. And that's going to be one of your homework assignments is figuring out what your brand is. So you're probably going to have to do a little more deeper thinking and writing about this, but figuring out what your brand is. Now, when you figure out your brand, you're going to attach that to your bio. Okay. So your bio is what you do, what you help women with. How do you serve people? And that's what I love too, is it helps us remember we are not just selling, we are serving, we are helping people with a message. So let's make your bio here. Okay. First of all, ChatGPT is going to help you create your bio. ChatGPT is your virtual assistant. It is your social media guru in your back pocket. All right. And we're going to work with ChatGPT a little bit this morning. So here are examples of bios. These are all on Facebook. Okay. The Facebook bio looks a little bit different than the Instagram bio. We'll look at both. It's a little more simple. It's usually just like a sentence. or two. So at the top, we have Rachel Bond, who, if you do not follow Beauty by Bond, I definitely recommend following her on Instagram. She's really more on Instagram, but she has her intro. Whatever you do, do it with passion or not at all. Momtrepreneur, Jesus lover, all things DIY. So right there, she just gave you her three pillars, right? She's a mom who has a business. She's a Jesus lover. She's got her faith and she loves DIY crafting. There's her pillars. So it's asking ChatGPT to help you. How can I make my Facebook bio or intro reflect my pillars? My pillars are this, this, and this. And then it will tell you what to say. All right, so let's just do that right now. As you're working on it, I'll show you the Instagram bio for those of you that are more into the Instagram. Oh, these pictures didn't load. I don't know why it didn't load, but this is an example of Lauren's. She's a great one for you to follow too, Lauren Membreno. She has, I'm a 40 plus gal, simplifying beauty for real life busy women. I have 1,000 clients, glowing smarter, not harder. So that's kind of cute. All right, so we're going to do that now. And we're going to see if we can go on to ChatGPT to do that. Okay, so we're going to ChatGPT. Go to the app. For those of you that have not done it before, at the bottom it says Ask Anything. And you can keep yourself muted and just talk into it, or you can type into it. If you want to talk into it, you just hit the microphone at the bottom. There's a little microphone. And then you can tell it. The more you just speak to ChatGPT like it's a person, I'll show you how I can do it. Can you give me some help with creating my Instagram bio with the three pillars of what I do in my Mary Kay business? I am a Mary Kay beauty consultant who has a brand that is to serve women over 50. I want to help women have glowing skin as they move into their menopause years. And I want to help them feel confident and beautiful as they move into that empty nesting season of life. And I want my bio to be short, but cute and catchy and really grab attention and let people know that I am serving them by helping them have more confidence. Can you help me write that Instagram bio? Okay. So it took what I said and it put it in there. And then I hit the little arrow, the black button, and then that sends it to my digital assistant, ChatGPT, who will now be your new best friend. And then it responds to me and it says, absolutely, based on your focus. So it repeats back what I just told it. It kind of hears me and it repeats it back. And then it says, here are a few catchy and concise Instagram bio options. And then it says, option one, helping women 50 plus glow through menopause, skincare, confidence, self-care, and then free tips and support inside. And I can have a little arrow with a link to like my website or my Facebook group, something like that. This is for an Instagram bio. Option two, fun and uplifting. Glowing skin after 50? Yes, please. Now, a lot of what ChatGPT gives you is going to be awesome. It's a great starting point. You don't have to just take it, copy it, and paste it. You can tweak it, use it as an example to then customize and maybe combine two together that you like. But this is part one of your homework is creating your bio. And it's a huge part of what we do because if we don't really know who are we trying to serve, what are we trying to do, then we're not really going to be effective with anything else that we do afterwards. It's kind of like a teacher, right? Zinnia's a teacher. I know we have other teachers out here. If we didn't know what the objective of the lesson was, would it be a very good lesson? No, right? We need to know exactly what our lesson is. And my lesson is this, is to help women 50 plus glow through menopause. Okay, well then now I can say, how can I come up with something that would help women glow through menopause? What would be my message? What would be my video? What would be that product that would help her? What would be that inspirational, thing that I should share with her? Because I got really clear on my niche. Okay. So, again, we can talk more about your specific niches after we get into the Ask Your Director session, but I want to keep on going because there's a lot more to cover. But this is a fun and important part of what we do on social media, and ChatGPT is going to help you. All right, so let's keep going to our content strategy. So, this is what we aim to do on social media. All right, remember these things. You can write these things down in your notes. Sorry, I did not put them in your notes. We will get to the ATM in just a sec. You're going to educate, you're going to entertain, you're going to engage, and you're going to invite. So, those are sort of like your main goals or purpose on your social media. Okay. What we unfortunately end up doing is educate, 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 educate. Okay. A lot of us fall into that trap. And what I'm learning from my other social media experts is that we have to stop educating so much and do more of the heart stuff. We got to get in there and really make people feel something. We need to get in there and entertain them, make them laugh, and engage with them, get them talking to us, and then invite them. We got to talk to them specifically, you and me having a one-on-one conversation. But if we just do educate, 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 and we're just talking broadly, we're not getting into the heart, then we're missing. We're missing a big piece of it. So I just wanted to mention that because sometimes we forget, what we're really supposed to be doing. So second activity that we are going to do is figuring out um, what our topics should be. All right, let's say we know what our niche is. All right, we know who we're talking to, we know who our ideal client is. And ChatGPT, it gets to know you. It gets to know who you are serving. So it's really good to kind of do a little introduction when you're talking to ChatGPT, but then as you continue talking to it, it knows who your niche is and it will fine tune the message back that it gives you. So we're going to first tell ChatGPT who we are, who our ideal client is. And then we're going to ask ChatGPT to help us come up with 3 trending beauty topics that you could teach to your ideal client on social media that would focus on your niche. So basically, you would tell ChatGPT that you would like to teach women about blank. So maybe you want to help them teach them about skincare over 50, or simple skincare for busy moms of toddlers, or skincare for brides, and that you want to have maybe you would say a confidence boosting attitude to it, or a free and easy style about it, or a faith filled messaging with it. Just how do you want it to come across? Okay. So that is these 3 squares at the bottom are examples of what you could ask it from there. Okay. So the first part, sorry, this is a little bit confusing. The first part is just coming up with the 3 topics. Okay. So let's do that right now. I know we're running out of time here, but we're going to stay a little bit on. If you need to go, I totally understand. You can go. This is being recorded. Um, Ask ChatGPT that question. Can you help me come up with 3 trending beauty topics that I can teach my ideal client on social media? So go ahead and ask it for the 3 trending beauty topics for your niche. And you do need to tell them who your ideal client is. Okay. So I'll do that now while you do yours. Can you help me come up with 3 trending beauty topics that I can teach to my ideal client on social media that would focus on my niche of helping women over 50 have more confidence in their skin as they age and are going into menopause? Okay. So My first suggestion for me was how to hydrate menopausal skin without feeling greasy. Okay, so that was the first topic. It gives me some content ideas. Then the next one is glow without the glam, quick confidence boosting makeup for women over 50. And then it gives me menopause skin myths. So these are three like topics that I could use in a Facebook post or in a story panel or in a reel. Okay. So why I have the purple, the pink, and the yellow, that's to even get more closely focused on now, what am I going to do with this topic? Okay. If I know the topic is, um, how to hydrate menopausal skin without feeling greasy. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT another thing to do. I'm going to say, can you give me a Facebook post caption to go with that topic? Because I want to have a hook and a call to action so that it's going to engage my listeners and make them want to, read it. A hook is something that grabs their attention in the beginning and makes them want to keep reading. And a call to action is something that makes them do something, like click on my website or click a resource or a guide or take a foundation matching quiz or book a session with me. That's a call to action. Okay. Or comment, just comment in the chat something, right? That's asking them to do something. So if you ask ChatGPT to do that, it will help you come up with your caption right then and there. If you want to do more with stories, then you ask it to help you come up with 3 stories for that topic. And then you can also ask it to help you come up with an idea for a reel. Now, we don't have time to do all those right now, but this is going to be part of your homework too. Okay. Coming up with these beauty topics and coming up with what you want it to do with you. Okay. So let's stop and ask any questions now about that part. I know that was a lot of niche and asking ChatGPT to help you and then getting into some of the actual topics. What questions do you have so far?
Can you, your last explanation says, I would like to teach like my brides the importance of good skincare routine. And you had personality after that. What
Mhm.
did you mean by that? What did you want us to fill in that blank for Chat
I
GPT?
think I think it was more of just like the vibe or the feel that you
The
wanted.
feel. Okay, how we
You
wanted to
wanted
come
it to be
across.
more of a go boho bride, that's more
Gotcha.
casual and country. Or if you want the sophisticated bride who's more
Okay,
all about, classy and elegance, adding
gotcha.
a little
Okay,
vibe to it. Yeah.
thank you.
The more specific you are with ChatGPT, the more specific it will give you those responses back. Um, you know, you can have a niche that's so specific that you're talking to teachers. I'm looking out and seeing some teachers here. You can ask it to help you create a post on Facebook that would be specific to helping busy teachers at the end of the school year who are struggling to just get through the day because they're crawling to the finish line. How can I write an encouraging Facebook post to share some skincare tips with a very exhausted teacher at the end of the year? Right? Do you see how we're niching down? We're not just saying, I love the charcoal mask. It takes out all the impurities and makes me feel great, right? No, it's telling a story about your experience because you're that exhausted teacher. You get it. And when they read it, they're like, oh, she knows what she's talking about because she's tired just like me. And she used a charcoal mask to help her get through that end of the year. I want to use a charcoal mask. Okay. Are you seeing the difference? Okay, that's what we're trying to teach you guys. And this is more advanced, right? I mean, you got to start somewhere. And, God bless the girl who's just still on there saying, I love the charcoal mask. It's really great. Like, I do it too sometimes, right? But that's not why we're here. We're here to teach you how to like really do it right. So that's what this purpose is. Because if you're doing it right, it's going to hit better. So if people are doing stuff and they're like, nothing's working, maybe part of it is they're not doing it in a way that's connecting as well to their audience. And I will tell you a couple last things. The most important thing is to be not generic the more vulnerable you can be, the more real and raw you can be. Those are the posts that people are going to be like, oh my gosh, like that was really great. I did this one reel where it wasn't the reel really that was that important, but it got their attention. It was the hook. I was coming out of the gym. I took my shirt off and I was like going to take a shower. And then I think it transitioned into me having my makeup on. And in my caption, and ChatGPT can help you write the caption, it just said how, like I hadn't really taken care of myself for many years and I feel like I can do that again. And even though I'm older, I'm choosing to like not give up on myself and still believe that I'm beautiful, all that stuff, right? It was all the deep stuff. And this lady came over to me at the gym and was like, "Oh my gosh, you're real. I just loved it so much. I couldn't believe you just said all that stuff and you just kind of just opened up your soul to us. It was just so great." And I was like, what reel are you talking about? Like I didn't know at first because she just said, "I loved your reel. It was so great." I'm like, "Which reel?" But then when she explained it to me, I'm like, that's what happened. It hit. It hit her in the heart. And she was like, "Wow." No one is going to come up to you at the gym and say, "Oh, I loved your little video about how the charcoal mask makes your pores feel so clean." Nobody's going to do that, right? But it's going to require more of you. And I know that's really scary to do it. And you might feel like that's really weird. I don't want to tell people how I feel and my insecurities. But we're serving people that way. We really are serving people in a more deep way. Just like you want to serve women when you have a conversation around the table and you're doing the facial with her and she tells you that in person and she's like feeling like rejected as a new divorced woman and not pretty as a 60-year-old grandmom or tired as a mom. Like she's connecting with you over the table and you listen and you talk to her. So yeah, you're doing it on social media now. But don't worry about what the other people are going to think, right? They're going to keep scrolling. If it doesn't hit with them, they're going to look and just move on. Yeah, you might even get some weird comments, some strange things. People are going to say things. It's okay, right? It actually shows that you're actually getting attention. So I would see it as a win. If you get so big and famous that you're getting all the haters commenting, then you should be like, yes, I finally made it. The trolls have come after me. And if we're not getting any trolls, it means that no one's really seeing our stuff yet. So, hey, you want that. You actually want that. It's a mindset thing, right? Just like you want the no. So there's a whole lot more that we did not get to today. As you can see, there's a lot of topics that we will continue covering on Ask Your Director. Let me just give you a preview here. Let's see here. Oh, it's not loading. Well, maybe I won't give you a preview. I don't know why the pictures aren't coming here. So at the Ask Your Director, we're going to talk more about the inviting part. We kind of talked about the educating and entertaining, but it's very important, and I can't let you go without letting you know that you have to talk to people. You have to use the direct messaging, feature, your messenger or the chat on Instagram to talk to people. And we're going to give you some scripts. I will post that again. I have already a document with all the DMs that you could use, examples of it. But this is one that is just how do you reach out to people if they view your story? What do you say to them, right? So you can ask ChatGPT what to say to people when you are trying to send a private message. And this is an example of asking ChatGPT. We didn't get to activity 3, but asking ChatGPT, can you give me a message to send to a woman who liked my Facebook post about a product I shared? I want to send her a link to my private Facebook group without being pushy or weird. I don't want to scare her away, but I want to reach out in a friendly way to see if she'd be interested. Hit send. ChatGPT will give you a message. And these were the two that came out for me. So I'll post this all on our group so you guys can see it. You don't have to take pictures of it because it'll be up there. But we have to remember to message people directly. We can't just do the post and pray and hope that people are going to respond to us. We have to reach out to them about it. Okay. And then there's so many different wonderful resources that we have that we can offer people. All right, we can offer them to join into our Facebook group. And that's what the ATM method is, which is adding them into the Facebook group, tagging them in a Facebook post, and then messaging them about it. And we'll go more into that on Wednesday as well. And that's really kind of like how we message people. We attract people through our videos and our posts, and then they comment or they view it, and then we reach out to them and we add them into the group, and then we get them more into the products, and then we message them to see how they're liking it or how what they thought of that video or if they watched something or tried a sample, right? So there's so many different things that we can offer to people in our messages when we are inviting people to take that next step with us. But if we don't pop the question, nothing's going to happen, right? They're just going to keep watching us. All right. So I know that this was in your notes, the ATM method, and I'm trying to remember what the other notes were. What was the next blank on the page after ATM? I can pull it up, but then I have to leave this share here. Anyone want to unmute and tell me that? Let's see if I can find it here. There it is.
What is the name of my ATM unit group?
Oh, right. Okay. So that is a great thing to ask. I know for our unit, we have the Glow and Go. That is our ATM group. That's where we add our customers and we share products with them and we do giveaways and special promotions. Cassandra has hers. It's like the beauty lounge. What is it, Rhonda? Do you remember it?
Something with beauty. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like the beauty lounge. I'll have to ask her and she will definitely
Yeah.
post it in the group.
Thanks. Thanks.
I don't know if Laura McKeever has her own customer group like that. So, hold off on that. I'll talk to Laura and you could probably come into my group if you would like to do that, if you don't already have one. And I know some of you are adopted into our units, Cassandra's unit or my unit. So you could definitely add your people into that group. We would be happy to have you do that. Okay. Sorry, that's not the right one. All right. So what were the other notes? Okay, the steps. So you are going to, we'll go through this on Wednesday because
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much more time here. Um, but I think you guys get the idea of what the ATM method is going to do. It's going to take the people that have been watching you and it's going to funnel them down into a place where they can see more and learn more. And then you can message them and talk to them more about, can I send you a link to this product? Can I send you a sample? Would you like to come to this event that we're doing? Would you like to do a facial so we can sit down and go through the products together? Would you like to try the Skin Analyzer app, right? There's a million things you could invite them to do, and you're just seeing what would be a good fit for her. So I hope that helped a little bit. There's so much more to get to, and I imagine we'll go through a lot of it on Wednesday, and that'll be a great recording to have as well for those of you that don't come, live. It's totally fine. We'll go through it, get into more of the meat and potatoes, but we covered a lot. So homework, let me just say it one more time. Let me find it. Hold on, not this one. Gotta find the right page. Um, okay, I do have it on here. Homework. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you are going to figure out your niche. Okay, you're going to do a little makeover on your brand so that you know exactly who your niche is, who are you serving. And you're going to update that bio either on Facebook or Instagram or both. Okay, you can ask ChatGPT to help you with updating that bio, and I want you to actually go in there and change it. You can edit it. I edited mine last night in preparation for this class. I just thought, I need a little makeover. Your bio is probably going to evolve, right, over time. You might just switch it up every couple years, So it's probably time to do that unless you just did it recently. So then you're going to work for part 2 with ChatGPT to help you write a caption for a Facebook post. I want every single person making at least one Facebook post this week. One. And you can ask ChatGPT to help you with your niche. All right. Figure out something to post about. I gave you an example with Zinnia, who's a teacher at the end of a year, and how she's exhausted, but this product helped her feel more rejuvenated. Okay. You figure out what that post would be for you using ChatGPT to help you and post it. And use a picture of yourself. That's going to connect better than just a picture of a product. Then I want you to work on stories, 3 to 5 stories every day, 5 days a week, just sharing a little more about the product that you're talking about or other products that you love right now. Just be promoting your Mary Kay in your story so that people can see you more sort of behind the scenes in your stories. And of course, you can also post stories about your other pillars, your gardening, your cooking, your travel, your family. No, it shouldn't just be Mary Kay, but it should start with Mary Kay. You want your Mary Kay stories to be the first stories that they see, and then the other stories come after. And then I want you to try a reel. Okay. And I'm going to teach you how to do a reel on Wednesday, but I want you to find a topic that you want to share about, get an idea, and I'll teach you on Wednesday how to make a reel. And we're going to post one reel. Okay. So that's the other part. All right. There's a lot of different homework things, but then you're also going to do your reach outs. Of course, we're doing that all the time. We're reaching out to people. And I want you to look at the viewers of who's viewing your story, and I want you to reach out to them. And if you don't know what to say to them, then ask ChatGPT, what should I say to people that were viewing my story? I don't know what to say. But I also have a document that has all the direct messages that you would ever need to use. But if you feel like you still need more or you need to tweak it, just ask ChatGPT to help you. Okay, so we're changing our bio. We're posting a Facebook post about something that's related to our niche. We're doing stories every day. And we're making a reel. And we're messaging people. Woo! All right. That is working your business on social media because consistency matters, ladies. If you're only posting once a month in your Facebook page about your business, it's not going to work.
Nope.
Right? So we got to get in the habit of doing this more consistently, doing those income producing activities regularly. That's what builds, that's when it works. If we're only doing it, casually, it's fine, but you're not really going to get a lot of traction from it. So we're going to build that muscle of consistency with this, and it will get easier. Of course, it's hard in the beginning because you don't know what the heck you're doing, but it'll get easier as you do it. All right. Well, I will stay on for any more